As my great work, why did I choose to do adrenaline rushes? I just thought it was an interesting topic. You can view adrenaline rushes from different perspectives. You could have that rush from fear that you could be being chased in an alleyway, or you could have that jittery, exhilarating feeling from riding a roller coaster. So an adrenaline rush comes from your brain, right? Nope, it comes from your kidneys. In an NBC News article, Eek, Why We Love to Scare Ourselves Silly, states, in an alarming situation, your adrenal glands, which sit atop your kidneys, dump the hormone epinephrine into your bloodstream. That gush triggers a series of bodily reactions, the fight or flight response, including a burst in heart rate and breathing. So I took a survey of 55 students at the University of Rhode Island and asked them which roller coaster they would prefer to ride on. I showed two pictures. One was Kingda Ka and the other was the Cyclone. Right now you are viewing the Cyclone roller coaster. I thought it'd be more interesting for the audience to be looking at what it is like to ride on the roller coaster itself. This roller coaster is known as the Cyclone. It is 45 feet tall. It is a steel roller coaster. It was opened in 1974 at Riverside Park, and it was then relocated to Rocky Point in 1984. This roller coaster has a length of 1,509 feet, and it has a 40-foot drop. In this survey I discussed earlier, only 13 out of the 55 students preferred the Cyclone because it was less terrifying, it was smaller, there was less of an adrenaline rush, and they also did not like drops. So changing perspectives, you have this roller coaster located at Six Flags in New Jersey. It's called Kingda Ka. It is 456 feet tall with a maximum speed of 128 miles per hour. In 3.5 seconds, it goes from 0 to 128. Once you reach the crest of the tower, you plunge vertically into a 270-degree spiral. The length of this roller coaster is 3,118 feet. Compared to the mere 13 students that chose the Cyclone, 38 students chose Kingda Ka. Why? Adrenaline rush. This roller coaster is located in their hometown. Notoriety. It looks more secure and safer. Newer. And it was also taller. So what is better than hearing my results from my survey? Seeing some students' reactions and perspectives on their views of the roller coaster they chose. After viewing the two pictures of the Kingda Ka roller coaster and the Cyclone, which one would you prefer?
I probably wouldn't be able to pick between the two. Kingda Ka, it's a world famous roller coaster. It's one of the biggest steel roller coasters that there are, and it shoots you out at over 60 miles an hour. And the whole thrill of you never know if it's going to make it up around that loop. And if it doesn't, then you end up shooting back down backwards into the station, and then you got to wait there like strapped into your harness. And then the Cyclone, I mean, it's a wooden roller coaster, so it's a classic. Everybody loves wooden roller coasters. And just the whole, it's old and it's rickety and it's shaking and you never know if it's going to fall apart. That's the whole adrenaline rush with that. And just you never know if it does fall apart. You do have the potential of dying, especially on the older ones. They don't really maintain them as well as they probably should.
What does it take you to get an adrenaline rush?
To get an adrenaline rush, I usually get an adrenaline rush just even waiting in the line to get on a roller coaster. So it's the whole anticipation for it, and then when you get on it, it's just nonstop fun. I usually am that person that's giggling or laughing the entire time when I'm on the roller coaster. So some people don't like it when I'm on there because they're freaking out, screaming, yelling their heads off. But I just like it. It's a good time.
Thank you. After viewing the two pictures of the roller coasters, Kingda Ka and the Cyclone, which one would you prefer?
Well, from my perspective, it's a little unique because I've never been on a roller coaster. So the consideration that I put into each roller coaster was mainly safety. So if we look at the more recent one, even though the technology might be better, it was a lot higher, and it probably goes faster, and that means that it is scarier and more dangerous because if you fell off of it, you would probably die. Versus the the Cyclone was built in the 70s, but it's only looked from the picture to be about 2 stories high, probably doesn't go as fast, and if I fell off of that one, I'd probably live to see another day.
Alright, and looking at roller coasters, what would you say gives you an adrenaline rush, even though you haven't ridden one before?
Oh, in my brain, what I was thinking was probably the drops make it have a lot of adrenaline rush, and then also if it went backwards, probably that would add to it.
Alright, thank you so much. After seeing the pictures of the 2 roller coasters, the Cyclone and the Kingda Ka, which one would you prefer?
I think we'll go with the Kingda Ka because it's massive and it's metal. I feel like I'm not going to die with metal. The other one's like wood and that's just death waiting to happen. There's like a fire or a plank breaks, I'm dying, and I don't want to die. I have a lot to live for here. But yeah, the Kingda Ka.
Okay, and what would you say it takes for you to get an adrenaline rush from a roller coaster?
I would say like a massive drop with a lot of build-up. Like if you're going up for like what feels like forever, then the drop just happened, it's like crazy. Let's say a big drop.
Alright, thank you. So I've used several perspectives to help answer my question on what causes an adrenaline rush through interviews, YouTube videos, surveys. I was thinking it was just loud music, speed, the drop, height, loops, position you were in, wood versus steel roller coasters. But I mean, conducting surveys, it also seemed to be with the anticipation that caused the adrenaline rush and like the safety and how new the roller coaster was. In an article online on ultimaterollercoaster.com, the audience can see that throughout history, roller coasters have been becoming more and more advanced. For example, in 1840, you had the first looping coaster in Paris. Then in 1907, you had the first roller coaster with a lap bar. Then, for example, in 1982, you had the first stand-up roller coaster in Japan. And now, in 2005, you had the Kingda Ka coaster, which is the world's tallest and fastest roller coaster. I did find my answer to my question, what causes an adrenaline rush. The answer is, it's based on people's opinions and perspectives. There is not one concrete answer. It could be the anticipation of getting on the ride, or the safety factor, or the drop of the roller coaster. It could be all 3. It's a matter of a person's opinion on what causes an adrenaline rush.